episode of the Brow Bro podcast. I'm your host, Magnus, aka your Brow Bro, and I'm beyond excited to finally start my own podcast. You know, I love to talk about everything beauty related, everything beauty, psychology, how to treat clients. I love everything. I love to talk, I love to learn and teach other people. I love this app. Okay, let me stop. I'm beyond excited to talk about this topic today, which is the newest trends in the beauty industry. So, I am a permanent makeup artist as well as a lash technician, and I also do brow styling. You know, lamination, brow styling, coloring, wax. But my true passion would definitely be permanent makeup and lash extension. Even though, don't think this is the wrong way, I love styling brows, but I'm most qualified in the permanent makeup and lash extension. But I'm good with styling too, definitely. Tooting my own little horn over here. Okay, I need to. Somebody has to take this app away from me. It's too much fun. So let's talk about the newest trends in the permanent makeup game, okay? So before the year 2000, we had a technique in the permanent makeup business called one-liner. And one-liner was really horrible. Really, really bad. But that was the only treatment that they had at the time. They didn't have no microblading, they didn't have no powder, didn't have no nano. It was one-liner, and it's horrible treatment. And thank God it's in the trash. About that time. After the one-liner, in 2000 to 2003, the microblading technique started to flourish. And until this day, we're in 2024, microblading is still around, and it's the most known permanent makeup treatment out there. Everybody knows what microblading is. At least like 99% of people knows what microblading is. And it is a controversial treatment. That's what it is. It is very controversial because it's like 50-50. People who loves it and people that fucking hates it. And it's true. I've been working with microblading for a few years. I don't do the procedure anymore. It's just personal reasons and, what I like to perform as treatments. But microblading has been, it's been that girl. It's been the fucking reigning queen of centuries now. And lately, we have had a new treatment that has been coming along, becoming really extremely popular, which is called nanobrow. When a new Supreme starts to flower, the old one fades away. And that's the truth. So here in Norway, we have everybody's obsessed with microblading. That's the one treatment that every person I have on consultation, that's the treatment they want to have done, is microblading. And I'm not coming over here to shit on microblading. Can it be done successfully, beautifully, and nicely? Yes, 100%. Can it be damaging, cause trauma, and cause discoloration? Yes, 100%. So it's very 50-50 over here with microblading. The thing I'm not a fan of microblading for is it's so risque, and it only suits a really small portion of people that can actually pull it off. They have the skin ethnicity, the skin type, or the proper thickness of their skin, and also age is a huge indicator of if the client can have microblading or not. And also ethnicities. Not all ethnicities can take microblading, or it will heal good on them. And that's the other thing that I think sucks. People still perform microblading on every single ethnicity, but it doesn't suit all skin types. That's the thing, and that's why I don't like it. it's not fun to have a person of color on your consultation and tell them we cannot perform this treatment on you because of your, you know what I mean? It's not cute. Um, but of course it's nothing personal, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not fun to send so many people away because you cannot perform the treatment on them because they're not a good candidate. And if I'm going to be honest, I would say, okay, let's say the whole population of the world, maybe 30% of all people is a good candidate for microblading. That's just me telling the truth. It's so few people that can suit it, and it can look beautiful. I've seen amazing results, but it is what it is, and what it is, it's that it's a really outdated treatment, in my opinion. And I can say this because I have a lot of experience with microblading, working as a brow technician, working as a permanent makeup artist now for over 3 years, and seeing a million results of healed microblading. Not only my work, but other people's work. It is 80% of the microblading looks trash after it heals because they're not a good candidate for the procedure. It's true. It's not looking great. What usually happens, well, here's the thing. It is a very hard treatment to perform successfully, and people don't have the knowledge, first of all. Second of all, it's not always the technician's fault. It's typically, well, it's nobody's fault. It's just the client's skin don't suit it. I've seen people perform microblading on 70-year-old women, 80-year-old women, people with the oiliest skin type ever, and it looks trash when it heals. It's true. It looks really bad. It migrates. The color looks horrible. And it's just looking really bad. Gray, blue, I've seen all the colors of the rainbow. It's not even funny. Like, it's really sad. It's just so crazy. But is microblading overall a bad treatment? No, it can be performed successfully. It's just really hard to do it successfully, and it is possible, but it's just so few people that are a good candidate for this treatment. And plus, when you perform microblading right, we do it manually, and that would be, we use a pen with tiny needles on the tip of the pen, and we stretch the skin, and we go over and slide all those needles over the skin and kind of opening the skin a little bit, not scraping, but just going really carefully over. That's the right way, but people cut too. It's almost like a scalpel. Excuse me, guys. English isn't my first language, so be a little patient with me. But people scrape the skin, right? We open up the skin when we perform microblading, and that's so damaging. It's so damaging. Of course, it can be done without it being too damaging. But either way, if this is a treatment that your client wants to come back to every year for a refill, imagine you getting your microblading done when you're 20 and you want to continue with microblading till you're 50. So you're coming in 30 times each year and doing the same scraping the skin. It's going to damage. I'm sorry. It's true. It's going to damage your client's skin. So I'm not a huge fan of this treatment. I'm just being very honest. This is just from my own experience of working like 100% with permanent makeup for the past 3.5 years. I just think I'm just not a fan. It's an outdated treatment. I'm sorry. I know this is going to offend a lot of artists. I'm not saying that every artist out there is a bad artist or that their work isn't good. It can be done right. I'm just not a fan of the treatment, especially now that we have so much more knowledge than we had 10 years ago. I think we should do better and upgrade our skill instead of being stuck in time. It's nothing I cannot stand more than people that are just stuck in a time and don't want to like renew their skills or be better. They're just like, oh, but I learned microblading in 2005 and it worked, so I'm just going to continue with it, even though we know all this knowledge. It's just like, girl, do better. Please. So, the raging supreme of the past 2 decades has been microblading, but now we get a new supreme arising. And that supreme is nano brows. I am a huge fan of nano brows. I think nano is such an amazing treatment, honestly. It looks so much more saturated. You can really make it look so much more realistic, and you have much more room to play with when it comes to nano. And, well, let me put this really clear for the people who don't know the differences between microblading and nano brows. So, when it comes to nano brows, we use a machine. Your brows think, oh, that sounds scary. It's not. We use a tattoo machine, and we use a 1-point needle. So using one little needle, and that goes in and out like a tattoo machine, you know, and we pixelate the hair strokes into the skin. So we're not cutting, we're not opening, we're not scraping, we're not doing none of that. We're not opening shit. Excuse my language. I'm a huge swearer. I'm trying so hard to not swear on this podcast. It's a little bit unprofessional, but you know. Anyway, so we're pixelating the pigment into the skin. We're not opening, we're just pixelating. And we're pixelating every hair and laying it perfectly in the top layer of the skin. Because microblading, I'm going to get cancelled afterwards. But if I'm going to be cancelled by telling the truth, it is what it is. With microblading, it's deeper. It is deeper. It is deeper than powder brows. It is deeper than nano brows. It's the truth. So, with nano brows, we're going much softer into the skin. We're really taking our time to place each little pixel and hair perfectly. The best artists in the world when it comes to nano brows, I've attended a few courses with some of the best girls in the business when it comes to nano brow. One was in, she's the owner of Fleek Brow Studio from Vietnam. It's the best studio ever. And she had an amazing masterclass in Milan this spring. And yeah, and she's the best. And she told me, or she told the audience, that they use up to 3.5 hours to perform one set of nano brows, and that's what it is. And that's the right way to do it. You know, with microblading, we use 1 to 2 hours, but it's much shorter time. But it's really worth it to use 3.5 hours, and the refill would be like around 1.5 to 2. But then you can really place everything perfectly. And that's the thing, like, this is in your face. Your brows is the most important facial feature in your face. Let me repeat that. Your brows is the most important facial feature in your face. Of course, teeth are the most important, but that's not the same. Like, look at teeth and then brows. But brows are the most important, unless you're smiling. Because we look at people's brows when we communicate with them, when we talk to them. We read their body language and their face language through their brows, because we show so much emotions through our brows. So your brows can really make it or break it. It can ruin your whole face. Invest in your brows. Invest in the best treatments. You're first going to get some work done. Go for the best. I'm not trying to sound mad over here. I'm not mad. I'm just extremely passionate about this topic about permanent makeup and brows, aesthetics, everything. I'm telling you this as a friend. Invest in your brows, and when you're first going to get something done, get it done perfectly. So please, I'm not trying to like shit on microblading. This is just real talk. I'm all about talking real, like, oh, can we just be real for a second? Microblading is just so much harder for your skin. It's so much tougher and rougher for your skin, And we want to be delicate. Come on, we have one. We're born with one skin. Are we gonna damage that like that? Straight in the face? No. Um, but yeah, nanobrows have really been taking over for the past years now, and I've seen not that many artists in Scandinavia that are hooked on this treatment. We are laying really far behind compared to the rest of the world. Um, but when I was in Miami this summer at the PMU World, every single artist. It was a room full of permanent makeup artists, hundreds and hundreds of permanent makeup artists. Not a single one did microblading, at least that I met. Everybody did either powder or nano. It's the truth. Everybody did either powder or nano because it does not cause any trauma and it looks so much better. It's such a safe, bulletproof, safe treatment to perform, and it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful treatment, and the healed result looks amazing. And why I'm so passionate about this is because nano suits every single ethnicity, so you don't have to send anybody home because of their ethnicity. It works for everybody. It works for every single skin type. Of course, you have to adjust a little bit through oilier skin than drier skin, of course, but it can look beautiful on oily skin. And also, it looked beautiful on guys. Oh my god, it looks so natural because you cannot clock anything. You cannot clock that anybody has anything done. It just looks like their brows are more fuller, more like fluffy, good, nice, natural. It just looks beautiful. So it's just a treatment that every single person in the world could have and could look good in and could suit them. And every single age too, since with nano we don't open the skin, we're not cutting anything or scraping. I'm cutting like I've never cut anything. I haven't cut anyone with microblading, but you know what I mean. Like we're not opening the skin, and so it's a beautiful treatment we can perform on all ages, up to like 100. Like honestly, yeah, it's the truth. Because it's so sensitive and soft treatment, and it's so nice for your skin. Um, so nano is really that girl, and we can also create a hyper realistic look, which makes this treatment just beyond amazing. Mm. And also, I just want to say this to all the artists out there. Please use a inorganic, or maybe you can go for hybrid, can also look good with this, but never go for organic pigments. I don't care. I don't listen. I'm I'm just speaking my mind over here. I hate organic pigments. Seeing the results of how they heals, it looks so fucking bad. It looks so bad. I cannot believe that people are still using organic pigments. To be really honest, I'm just not having it. It looks red. It's impossible to remove organic pigments from the skin. Let me repeat that. It's impossible to remove organic pigments from the skin. You can never remove it. You can never take laser over it and remove it. You cannot use saline solution. It's stuck there forever. Let that sink in. That's pretty freaking crazy. I cannot believe that these huge corporations and companies are still producing organic pigments when we know all these facts. It's crazy to me. If you're going to implement something in people's skin, in your client's skin, you better be able to take that thing out. It's the same with fillers, and it's the same with permanent makeup. If you're going to implant something, you better be able to take it out. Oof, let me take a sip of water over here. I'm not even mad, I'm just very passionate. I'm a passionate Virgo. Clock it. Oh, this is like ASMR. No, but I'm extremely passionate about this, and I'm not saying this to hurt anybody's feeling. I'm not saying this to, you know, cause any stir. I don't care. I just want the truth out about these things. And that's why I started this podcast. I want to um, teach other artists and clients so they know what they're doing. And it's really important. And I'm not shaming anybody. I've done mistakes too. We all do mistakes. But let's take in the facts and let's grow and let's do better. And let's make permanent makeup safe, 100% bulletproof safe. Let's spread knowledge about how amazing permanent makeup can be and how safe and good and amazing it can heal. We don't want permanent makeup to age like milk. We want permanent makeup to age like fine wine and it to fade away softly. So we have to know what to do. We have to know about what we're implanting in people's skin, the different techniques we're using, and how the different treatments works. So if you're still doing microblading, I'm not shaming you. This is only my opinion. You can do amazing results. I'm not judging. I've seen amazing, but the thing is, it's, you know, I'm just not a fan of it. I think it's a treatment we should just lay in the past. I think we should all invest in being better and invest in our skills and stay updated. And, you know, everything is always revolving. We have to stay in the time we're in. And with all the knowledge we're sitting on in in the year we're in now, I think it's so important that we're always striving to be better. Never get too comfortable, honey. That's what I always think about. They're always like, it's so extremely important to always be better, strive to be better, especially when it comes to your skill. So, yeah. So yeah, long story short, microblading, you're not it, sis. I'm just kidding. No, but I would definitely recommend all my clients nano brows if you want a hyper realistic look to your brows. If you want a really natural and good result, go for nano. It will suit you. It will look amazing. Yes, you will lay there on the bed for 3.5 hours, but you will love it. So clock it. Another amazing treatment that I love, and I personally have on my brows, is powder. I love powder brows. And something that's so funny about powder brows, or it's not funny, but it's, you know, people are a little bit scared of the treatment because they see the after results on Instagram and they're like, ooh, it looks like Anastasia Dip Brow from 2016. But I'm telling you guys, it looks so extremely natural when it heals. Of course, it depends on how your permanent makeup artist does it. Like, if they perform the treatment like very snatched and very close, and the pigments and every technique, everything, it can look more makeupy, but it can be done so natural. So one of my good friends, Katie, we used to work together for a little bit over a year, I think. She's an amazing artist. She's from Greece. I love her with a passion. She's amazing. And she did powder brows on me. She did the most like natural, amazing powder brows ever. We went for a European style actually, with an upwards fade versus the very like snatched American style, which I live for the American snatched style as well, but we wanted something more fluffy. I wanted to overdraw my brows a little bit. I like the really full, little bit bigger look, and it turned out amazing. We used an inorganic pigment from Permablend. We used red mod 2 drops and around 5 drops of Ready Dark, and that healed like amazing. I need a little bit of touch up because I have extremely oily skin. I'm telling you guys, my skin is oily as fuck. So it has faded really quickly, but it has faded nicely. I will say inorganic pigments, oh, it's the best. It's the only only pigment I want to implant into my client's skin because, yeah, it's totally possible to remove, extremely easy with laser or even saline solution, or you can just let it softly fade away by itself. So inorganic are really that girl. I love the permanent blend pigments. They're amazing. Hey, sponsor me. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. But yeah, the results are not amazing. Katie, I need to touch up. So So yeah, now I really want to talk about the latest trend that has been, or it's not, it's been around forever, but I think also like lip blushing has been really in the wind lately, especially here in Oslo. I've heard so many girls talk about it. And I think that's so cool because lip blush can be such an amazing treatment. So you can either, of course, you can place the lip blush more like a lipstick type of effect, with a little bit more fuller coverage, or you can just do it to, tweak your lips a little bit and make your lips a little bit more perfect. You can also place your lip blush in more of a correction type of way. If you have any smoke spots, if you have any of those white dots after you're done lip filler, you can correct that. It's more like a lip blush correction type of thing, and it looks so natural. So if you have perhaps a little bit more paler lips, you have discoloration, you smoke too much, or like, oh my god, smoke too much, you get those burn scars type of thing. Like all of this can be corrected, girl, with using lip blush, and it's such an amazing treatment. Here at my studio in Oslo called Brow Bro. I perform a lot of this treatment, of course, and we do a full numbing. I love using the Tina David's ice cream numb. It's so good. And that will numb your lips completely. And we can always place on more of the anesthetic slash numbing cream throughout the treatment. So when we've gone over and filled in with the tattoo machine, we have opened up the skin. So when we place the numbing on top of that, it will soak down immediately and numb completely. So that's amazing. So it's not a painful treatment. You can feel it a tiny bit, but it's like, come on, we're doing a tattoo over here. Like, of course you're gonna hurt a little bit, but it's like it's worth it because you're gonna look amazing afterwards. Lip blush, it can be life changing. It's also so anti-aging. I'm telling you guys, permanent makeup is so anti-aging. I've had clients who look 10 years, if not more, younger after they have the brows done or the lips done. Because, after, as we age, we typically lose more hairs around the brows and we can look a little bit more washed out. So when we get more color in our face, get our brows down, lips, we look so much younger. So I could really recommend to check it out. I think it's an amazing treatment. And also, if you're a girly who likes a little bit of filler in the lips, like, hey, I like it too. I would definitely recommend to check out lip blushing. It can help your lips look so much better and to even them more out, and they can also actually look more natural in my opinion, because you will correct all the lines, you'll make it more sharp looking. And I've seen, oh, this is not the shade, I know, I'm trying to not sound so mean, but when some people get their lip filler done, it's beautiful, but it can look a little bit uneven sometimes because they accentuate their lips, and they can be a little bit, discoloration, or you know the lines can be a little bit wonky. This is something you can correct with using lip blush. So you will actually hear this from a ton of injectors out there. After you get your lips done, they will recommend you to do lip blushing for a reason, because it will look so much better, more like it will look more aesthetically pleasing, it will look more healthy, it will give you a much better glow. And you want to hear a fun fact about lip blushing and lip colors? It's so fun. The more pronounced your lip color is, the better your skin will look. This is a fact. So if you have really pale skin, pale lips, your skin can look actually a little bit worse. But when your lips are more plump and more vibrated actually, more vibrant, your skin can look much more healthier, much more even, and much better. So it's just so many perks to this treatment, and it's also so nice to not have to apply makeup on your lips every day. You can just take on some Vaseline, take a lip gloss over, and you're good to go out the door. That's another thing I just love about permanent makeup. It's that it's so it helps you so much more with the time throughout the week. You wake up and you just look in the mirror and you look so much more fresher. You don't have to apply so much makeup. That's what I always tell my clients. When you have your brows and lashes done, you're ready to go. And of course lips too, like when you have your plump lips, like you're also like good to go. But the most important thing in my opinion is to have your brows, and when you have your lashes done too, oh my god, you're ready to go. Put on a moisturizer and yeah, you're ready to go, baby. so um so yeah, it's so many perks with permanent makeup: anti-aging, um ready to go out the door all the time. You also save money on makeup. I remember before I got my brows done by Katie, I used to buy a new brow pencil every month because I use it every day. And I have big man brows, so I have to like fill in so much. And yeah, so I did the math, and it's like, okay, it's $20 for each brow brush. Okay, so 20x. Let me get my calculator. I'm slow today, you guys. Don't be too harsh on me. So it's like 20x 12. That's $240 in a year on brow pencil. Well, a permanent makeup treatment costs more than that typically. So, but you will save a little bit. Like when you do the girl math. I'm a girl mather too. I love doing girl math. Like you're not really saving, you know what I mean? But it's so many perks with doing permanent makeup, and it's appearance matter, and to not for other people's approval, but for you to feel confident and good about yourself each day. It's so healthy. It's so healthy, and I know it can sound a little bit controversial to say like oh, beauty matters. Like, of course what's in the inside matters, of course, but it's extremely important that you feel good about yourself, and each time you look in the mirror that you feel comfortable, confident about yourself, you feel put together, you feel well. Because when you feel well about yourself, then you're able to make other people around you feel well. But it's so important to put yourself first. This can sound narcissistic, this can sound whatever it sounds like, but it's the truth. You have to put yourself first. I see so many people just fade away because they're putting everybody else around them before them. No, put yourself first, take care of yourself. Oh, sorry, I had the microphone a little bit far away from my mouth. Excuse me. But it's so extremely important to put yourself first. Book that brow appointment, book that lash appointment, book that facial, book that nail appointment. Like, go and get a massage, go and get waxing, go and get your hair done. You know what I mean? Because when you feel good, you do good. This can perhaps sound shallow, but I believe this is the truth. Period. Take care of yourself, you guys. And yeah, I think we're at the end of my first podcast. This was so much fun. I could yap for hours and hours and hours, especially when we talk about beauty, because I'm such a beauty nerd. And I'm so happy to just be here with you guys and talk about. And I love teaching. I know this podcast got a little bit passionate, but I'm an extremely passionate person, and I'm extremely passionate about what I love, and I'm extremely passionate about permanent makeup. And again, I don't want people to take it the wrong way when I'm talking about marketing, but this is my opinion only. Thank you guys so much for supporting my podcast. Feel free to leave me a tip if you enjoy my content, if you like my podcast. I'm doing the podcast for free. I'm sharing so much knowledge for free, which I love. I'm not mad about it, but I just wanted you guys to know. Feel free to leave me a tip if you want to support my channel, if you want to support my podcast. I highly, highly appreciate it. Thank you guys. Okay. Bye. Woo!